Are you Seo-jun Han? My mom said you left us outside this gate in the rain.
Who is your mother? Why are you carrying Naya's umbrella?
Because she collapsed and this was the only thing she told me to bring.
Security, remove this child immediately.
Then why is my mother's unopened letter locked inside your desk right now?
At 8:12 on a stormy Friday night, 10-year-old Lila Brooks stood outside the iron gate of Han Manor, soaked beneath a faded red umbrella. The Korean billionaire staring at her had not seen that umbrella in 10 years. He had last watched it disappear through rain after telling his pregnant wife, Nia, that their marriage was over. Now the child at his gate had Nia's eyes. Lila held out a hospital bracelet. My mom collapsed at work. She said I should find you only if she could not wake up. Seo-jun Han felt the world tilt. Behind him, Victoria Cole, the elegant attorney who had managed his family's empire for a decade, went pale. But Lila noticed something else. When Victoria ordered security to remove her, the girl pointed toward the open study and asked why her mother's unopened letter was locked inside Victoria's desk. That letter should not have existed. If this child's courage already has your heart, subscribe, like this video, comment where you are watching from, and turn on notifications. Stay close, because the umbrella at that gate was carrying more than rain. 10 years earlier, Nia Brooks had been a gifted American restoration architect working on the Han Foundation's historic hotel project in New York. She was warm, brilliant, and quietly fearless. Seo-jun fell in love with the way she challenged him without humiliating him. They married privately because his board feared scandal, but for 1 year they were happy. Then money vanished from the foundation. Victoria produced bank transfers in Nia's name, photographs of Nia meeting a rival developer, and an email offering stolen design plans. Seo-jun was already grieving his father's sudden death. He trusted the evidence placed before him more than the woman standing beside him. Nia came to Han Manor carrying a sealed letter, a red umbrella, and the news that she was pregnant. Before she could explain, Seo-jun told her he knew about the theft. Nia begged him to open the envelope. Victoria whispered that Nia was using a baby to escape prosecution. Seo-jun looked at his wife and said, "Leave before I call the police." The gate closed between them. Nia stood in the rain until the red umbrella slipped from her hand. Then she picked it up, pressed one palm over her unborn child, and walked away without looking back. At the hospital, Seo-jun found Nia unconscious after surgery for a burst appendix. She had built a respected restoration studio, raised Lila alone, and never used the Han name. On the bedside table sat a folder showing years of medical bills paid without help. When Nia woke, Seo-jun asked the question he feared most. "Is Lila my daughter?" Nia's voice was weak, but steady. "You do not get to begin with ownership. Begin with the night you refused to listen." He apologized. She turned her face away. Lila entered, twisting the silver handle of the red umbrella. It made a soft rattle. She said it had always sounded like a tiny secret knocking to get out. Seo-jun recognized the handle. His father had commissioned only 2 umbrellas with that silver crane design. One belonged to him. The other had been given to Nia on their wedding day. Before the first major truth breaks open, subscribe, like, comment whether you would forgive someone who abandoned you without listening, and turn on notifications. The answer inside that umbrella was closer than any of them knew. Seo-jun ordered an independent paternity test, but he did not demand access to Lila. Instead, he paid Nia's hospital costs anonymously, then respected her decision to return the money. He began visiting only when invited. He helped Lila with a school model of a bridge. He learned she hated peas, loved astronomy, and touched the umbrella handle whenever she felt afraid. The result confirmed what his heart already knew. Lila was his daughter. That was the major twist, but it was not the deepest betrayal. Nia revealed that the rival developer in Victoria's photographs had been a federal auditor. Nia had discovered that foundation funds were being routed through shell charities. Seo-jun's father believed her. Before his death, he asked Nia to preserve the evidence and gave her a memory card. "The card was in the envelope," Nia said. "I tried to hand it to you."
Seo-jun searched Victoria's desk.
He found the unopened letter Lila had seen, still stained at one corner by rain. Inside was Nia's pregnancy note, but no memory card. Victoria claimed she had kept the letter to protect Seo-jun from manipulation. Then she announced a new accusation. She told the board Nia had returned to seize Han wealth through Lila. For one terrible day, the public believed her. Reporters surrounded Nia's studio.
Client pose de contract.
Victoria smiled beside Seo-jun at a press conference, certain she had won again. But Nia did not hide. She released her audited business records, the original federal meeting schedule, and 10 years of correspondence showing she had repeatedly requested an independent investigation. She did not ask Seo-jun to rescue her. She stood before the cameras and said, "My daughter is not evidence of ambition. She is evidence that I survived." The power began to shift. Seo-jun publicly confirmed the paternity result and admitted that Nia had never asked him for money. He suspended Victoria and called an emergency foundation hearing. His board warned that exposing the scandal could destroy the family name. He answered, "A name protected by a lie deserves to fall." Before the hidden proof changes everything, subscribe, like, comment what justice should look like for Nia, and turn on notifications. Victoria believed the missing card had vanished forever. She was wrong. At the hearing, Victoria arrived with forged security logs claiming Nia had entered the finance office the night funds disappeared. She spoke calmly. She reminded everyone that Seo-jun had believed the same story 10 years ago. Then Lila noticed the date. She had been studying the old umbrella because of a class project. The silver crane handle was engraved with Nia and Seo-jun's wedding date. Lila asked, "If my mom was inside the office at 9, why is she on Grandpa Han's wedding video across town at the same time?" The room went silent. Victoria snapped that a child could not understand corporate evidence. Lila flinched and squeezed the umbrella handle. The cracked silver casing broke open. A tiny memory card fell onto the table. Nia stared at it. The envelope had never held the card. During the rain confrontation, afraid Victoria would seize the evidence, Nia had hidden it inside the hollow umbrella handle. After Seo-jun rejected her, shocking years of struggle buried the memory, so deeply that she believed the card had been lost. The recording on it carried Seo-jun's father's voice. He named Victoria. He described the shell charities, the forged transfers, and the threat she made against Nia. Then Victoria's own voice entered the recording, promising that Seo-jun would choose his family's reputation over his Black American wife. Her lie had recorded its own ending. Victoria had publicly called Nia a thief. Now the board heard Victoria confess in her own voice. The foundation removed her. Federal investigators reopened the financial case. The merger she expected to control collapsed, and the public trust she had manipulated disappeared overnight. The punishment matched the wrong. She had used false evidence to steal Nia's name, so her own evidence restored it. But Seo-jun did not celebrate. He stood before the board and admitted his part. "Victoria created the lie," he said. "I gave it power because listening to my wife required more courage than protecting my pride." He resigned as chairman until an independent review was complete. He transferred control of the recovered foundation money to a community board led by no member of his family. Then he asked Nia what she needed. "Time," she said. "And a father who shows up when nobody is watching." So he showed up. For 11 months, he attended school meetings, therapy sessions, and quiet Saturday breakfasts. He never used gifts to buy affection. When Lila called him dad for the first time, he cried in the car where she could not see. Nia watched him choose truth in small ways. He defended her publicly, but he also respected her privately. He learned that forgiveness was not a door he could force open. For the final emotional turn, subscribe, like, comment whether Seo-jun earned a second chance, and turn on notifications for more stories where truth returns stronger than betrayal. 1 year after the hearing, Nia reopened the restored hotel as a training center for young architects from overlooked communities. At the entrance stood the old iron gate from Han Manor, no longer locked. Above it was a simple sign, "No one is left outside." Seo-jun did not propose with cameras waiting. He gave Nia the repaired red umbrella and said, "I cannot undo the night I closed the gate. I can spend the rest of my life making sure you never stand alone again." Nia studied him for a long moment. Then she opened the umbrella over all three of them. "This is not a return to what we were," she said. "It is a chance to build something honest." Lila smiled and touched the silver crane. The tiny secret had finally stopped knocking. Some people believe power can bury truth. But every cruel choice leaves a trace, and every closed gate remembers who was left in the rain. Would you have forgiven Seo-jun? Or was Nia right to make him earn every step back?